Hello, I'm Rosendo and I am doing the video reaction number 5. This is a TED Talk giving by Ben Ha. Ben Ha is a naturalized American citizen. He came to America from South Korea when he was 14 years old, and he is the founder and chief executive officer of his own media company. It is called Cheeseburger Network, and what it is basically an entertainment website. There are tons of different sites, things such as memes and comics, jokes, things like that. People go to his site to be entertained, and his site gets close to 400 million views a month. So with that being said, since he's best known for they said pioneering the internet culture as entertainment, he had to start this TED Talk by saying his topic of discussion was going to be something that's much more serious than what he's usually known for. The event is titled "What If You Were an Immigrant?" and it took place in Portland, Oregon. The overall purpose for the talk that Ben Ha gave was to discuss both what life was like for immigrants in America today, and then the importance of policy and awareness when it comes to who is being let into the country and what their intentions are once they get here, what their reasoning for coming is. So Ben Ha is a good person to give this talk of what it's like to be an immigrant, because he is an immigrant. He has firsthand experience of what it's like to be treated in America as or firsthand experience of what it's like being an immigrant in America. After being in the United States for 20 years, he opens up in this talk. He actually gets really emotional towards the end, but opens up about the unfairness of immigration, how immigration has changed over the last century, and then the irony in the fact that the United States is known as the melting pot. We are supposedly built on immigration, yet there are, I'll say, a large number of people who look down on immigrants or people trying to come into the country and see them as inferior. So with the unfairness of immigration in the United States, there was a slide put up during the video that stated immigration is an unfair trade, and reason being is the parents who originally come to America as immigrants, they pay the ultimate price. They pay for everything. What follows is the children reap the benefits of the parents coming to America, so they get to live the better life that their parents worked for them. And then the grandchildren take everything for granted. So that is the unfairness in what is known as, or immigration can be known as, an unfair trade. Another thing that makes immigration unfair trade is the policies. The policies that are in place that are the policies that are in place that say who can come in, who can't, who can come in, who can't, are put in place by people who are not immigrants and they don't know what it's like to live in America and be treated unjust and unfairly. So I know he mentioned something about a state bill in Arizona that was basically, if you are brown, you will be stopped and asked if you belong here. Things like that, and then things like that make immigration unfair. It's unfair for immigrants. They're looked down on when they come before they're even here. They're looked down on. Immigration changing over the last century. So again, another bit of information that he shared was how immigration today is completely different than it was 100 years ago. Back then, immigrants suffered just like they do today, but there are two different things that are causing the suffering. 100 years ago, the suffering was caused by nature. So illness, distance, being separated from your loved ones, or having to travel across the sea by way of ship were the things that caused suffering to the immigrants. Today, the suffering is being caused by man. So policies saying you can't come here because you're this race or you're from this area, separation, say your wife and child are led into the country but you aren't. It's not a matter of distance or traveling, it's just you're being separated and there's nothing you can do about it. And even prejudiceness, people thinking a certain way because of what they've seen. They've seen terrorists of the same race, so they say you're a terrorist without even knowing anything about you or anything at all. It's impossible to judge someone based on the passport that they come into or they come to the border with trying to get into the country. And that just fits along in with the unfairness of immigration. And another thing I wanted to talk about was the irony that Han talked about in the video, and that is we're supposedly, or you ask people in this country and they will tell you that we were built on immigration. The United States is known as the melting pot. If that is the case, then why are there so many types of barriers put in place that are intended to keep people out the U.S.? It's stated that a lot of people already look down and don't even see others outside of this country as people. And along with many others, don't understand that reason, whether it be fear of losing their job or, just being, I don't want to say ignorant, but being ignorant to the fact that not every Middle Eastern person trying to come to America is a terrorist. And the view on immigration has always been affected by race. So, there's been discrimination has been a problem in America for many years. That's why I'll jump to my my thoughts on the video. I liked the video. I found it very interesting. I could tell that this was a very important topic to Ben Hub based on the fact that he was emotional at the end and couldn't contain himself. So, and also this has a lot to do with discrimination, unfair and unjust treatment towards someone or something based on their race, religion, sex, origin, things like that. That is what I'm doing my term paper on. So a lot of it went hand in hand with each other, so I was able to pick up easily what he was talking about, the points he was trying to get at. Overall, he didn't really offer solutions to these problems with immigration that we're having in America currently, but because he said it wouldn't really matter. His voice is only one voice, and in order for there to be a change, that we need to come together. We being immigrants and people who don't look down on them and welcome them with open arms need to come together to have their voice heard, because the people who are setting these policies to keep people out don't know what it's like to be American, don't know how they're treated every day. So the people need to come together and let their voice be heard and let the policymakers know, hey, this is who we want in, this is how they go about doing this, and we need to have a say in it and all that. So overall, I really enjoyed the video. I really took a lot of information on it. It gave me a better understanding, not so much understanding, better insight on what immigrants go through every day. So yeah, this is my video reaction number 5. Thank you for watching.